The New England Patriots just revealed some crazy insider information. Let's jump into it. My name is Aaron. This is Sports Talk Patriots on the daily, pushing out that content to people just like you who love Patriots football. So do me a favor, hit that subscribe, hit that like, and comment below. Ladies and gentlemen, we know going into this offseason, even right now, there are so many questions when it comes to the offensive line, wide receivers, the edge rushers, cornerbacks, heck, the coaches in the front office. There are questions that are flying everywhere. Now, this one bit of information I find actually good and useful when it comes to insider information, and that is who the Patriots are looking to make a call to when it comes to picking up someone out of free agency, specifically at the wide receiver position. Now, we know this past offseason, in the 2024 offseason, the Patriots were very active in trying to get people like Brandon Ayuk, Calvin Ridley, and they ended up failing at both. But anyways, they were trying to get a wide receiver number one. I would argue they should have spent much more time focusing on their offensive line, because we all remember the Okorafor mess, and that was a disaster. But anyways, I digress. We jump into it. The New England Patriots' first call going to be most likely T. Higgins, Cincinnati Bengals. Now, T. Higgins has lived in the shadow of Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. He's the type of player that most likely wants to go somewhere and be the top dog like Jamar Chase has been for the Cincinnati Bengals. We know that he has shined at times in Cincinnati with Jamar Chase. In times he's been out as well. And so he has the potential. His first 3 years, he almost first year I believe he had 900 yards, but the next two he had 1,000 yards. And my only issue with him is the past 2 years he's been injury prone. So he's been injured, and so he has not played as much as he did his first 3 years. Here's his stats right here. Currently, he was franchise tagged by the Cincinnati Bengals, so he's getting paid just over $21 million for this season. So chances are, obviously, the New England Patriots are going to have to pay him more than that, which they have the cap space. We'll jump into that in a second. But what I love about T. Higgins is a lot of people have said, listen, if he goes to another team, on a lot of teams, he could be that wide receiver number one. Why not the New England Patriots? He's 6'4", he's 220, he has the size, he has the intangibles. He has proven time and time again that he can do it. So I think it would be a great move by the Patriots. They have the cap space. I think it'd be good. Think of a lineup like this. T. Higgins at the 1, Pop at the 2. If you could get Jalen Polk actually playing football, he could be a solid wide receiver number 3. And then you still have Hunter Henry. Who knows what they'll do with Austin Hooper. Jaheim Bell, maybe he's finally coming into his own. But again, this offense would already be looking better with T. Higgins at wide receiver number 1. So comment below. Tell me what you think about that. As well, talking about wide receiver number 1, a lot of speculation that, again, the Patriots will most likely try to go find, again, with all the cap space they have, they will try to go find a wide receiver number 1. Now, some other names that have been thrown out there have been DK Metcalf, which I think is interesting, and then McLaurin for the Commies in Washington. Now, DK Metcalf is interesting, and I say that because I think Seattle, do they want to move on from him? I don't think necessarily, but you look at Jackson Smith and Jigba, and I think a lot of people see like, hey, he has the intangibles, he can do it. He is still on that rookie contract. DK Metcalf is not. And so when it comes down to it, DK Metcalf, he is on his final year this year with Seattle. Sorry, not this year, but the 2025 season. So it would be very interesting if the Patriots traded for him, and they had him for the rest of his deal, and then it didn't go so hot that year. Then it could go downhill. It could go downhill very quick. What I like about T. Higgins is T. Higgins can immediately after this year, he can be signed to a contract, 2, 3, 4-year contract, whatever that might be. Obviously, probably not too many years. But again, I think it would be smart to lean on T. Higgins as opposed to DK Metcalf. Again, either or, it is what it is. But again, I am leaning more towards T. Higgins than I am for DK Metcalf. And that's my fault. T. Higgins, I had to double check, is 25 years old, where DK Metcalf is 26 years old. So comment below. Tell me what you think. Is there another wide receiver out there that maybe that you think the Patriots should take a stab at, try to get onto the team, or what are your thoughts? Comment below. But we look at the cap space next year. There is plenty of room. So currently the Patriots have 16 players that are essentially on a 1-year deal or are going to be out after this season if they're not re-signed. So 37 players are currently on the active roster for the 2025 NFL season. Of that, just over $6 million is dead cap, essentially meaning bonuses or whatever it might be for players that are no longer on the team. So there is a lot of cap space, ladies and gentlemen. And some of the cap that's most likely going to be leaving. Jonathan Jones, it'll be interesting. If he does resign, it'll probably be from a year-to-year basis. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens with him. Again, he is getting older, especially as a cornerback, so it'll be interesting to see what the Patriots do. Jacoby Brissett, probably going to go. Okorafor, he's already gone. KJ Osborne, probably going to leave. Austin Hooper, that's an interesting one. They might take him another year. But then after that, it drops into just under $2 million, so not that big a deal. But already kind of these top ones are already dropping off, so clearing up even more cap space for the Patriots. Again, KJ Osborne could surprise me. He could get re-signed, but again, I think he's had his ups and downs with an organization, so I lean more towards that they're probably not going to re-sign him and let him go somewhere else. But I do think it is vital that the Patriots go find a wide receiver one. But again, I want to reiterate the priority of what they should do. First, offensive line. After offensive line, I do not mind finding a wide receiver one, but I think the offensive line is the number one thing. We talked about that in the video yesterday. Wide receiver, and then we got to talk edge rusher and cornerback, especially we look at this. Jay Jones is on his last year of his contract this year, and so he is getting older. Sure, he might sign from a year-to-year basis, but again, someone else needs to be found. There's some younger talent on the team. Will they be able to fill in? Who knows? But again, offensive line, wide receiver number one, edge rusher, cornerback. I feel like those are the areas that need to be fixed. They need to be dealt with. But again, comment below. Tell me what you think. T. Higgins, DK Metcalf, Terry McLaurin, whoever it might be. Tell me who you are interested in seeing on the Patriots. Again, hopefully some of this younger talent for the Patriots at the wide receiver position can blossom and do well and really step up their game. But as of right now, I don't think any of them are turning into a wide receiver one anytime soon. So comment below. Tell me what you guys think. I truly appreciate it. Again, this is Sports Talk Patriots. My name is Aaron. Hit that subscribe button on your way out. We'll talk later. Peace.